Hey guys, it's Jessie with Lost Marbles Farm, and this is a 1st of August garden update. I've promised you guys I would show you how bad our garden looks. This has been a really bad garden year. Number one, we haven't had a lot of time because of the addition that we have being built on our house, so we've been consumed with that, so not a lot of time. And then we had June and July were record heat, just awful dog days of summer heat with very little rain. So it did a number on our garden. So I'm just going to show you the reality that some years are better than others. So first failure, this pepper plant. I haven't had a lot of time to research what is wrong with it, but it looks terrible. Look at it. The leaves are falling off. This is the biggest pepper it's had, and it's turning red, so I know it's not going to grow any bigger. I might as well just pick off what I can and salvage it. It's been fed well, but I guess just, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even have time to research it. These pepper plants are just a little bit slower, and that's okay because that's the way they roll. But otherwise, they look very healthy. They've got lots of blooms on them. They're growing just fine. This California Wonder, I wonder why it's not producing. I do not know. It's been fed well. I've kept these watered despite the drought. This jalapeno, y'all, if I have to say one thing about jalapenos, they're always prolific. I never have one die, knock on wood. But anyway, it's loaded. We've been harvesting lots of peppers off of it. These have gone wild. They've done real well, but they actually have a little bit too much nitrogen because they're right at the south side of the chicken pen, so they're getting all the runoff from the chickens and the rabbits, because the rabbits are in there too. So we haven't gotten a crazy amount of tomatoes, but that's okay because we don't eat a whole lot of slicing tomatoes. All right, here's the graveyard. Are you ready for this? I've already pulled up several tomato plants, but look at them, y'all. They look absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I have never had tomato plants get this bad. Some are hanging on. This one looks like it's had a tomato hornworm. Most of them have not even had tomato hornworms on them because even the tomato hornworms are like, nope, that's disgusting. I ain't eating it. But despite all of this damage, which I haven't researched it to tell you 100%, but I'm thinking it's probably fire blight. We've still done really well with tomatoes. So they've only gone downhill in the last couple of weeks. So prior to this, I've been harvesting, and there's still tons to pick off of these plants. Even this one, like I can pick all those red ones. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, look, perfectly fine tomato. Just a little bit small. Anyway, guys, why am I showing you my graveyard of tomatoes? Well, I want you to see that not every garden looks like something out of a magazine. It takes a ton of work, even when conditions are right, but you throw in some rough conditions. This is the ugly side of things, and they can go wrong and they can be tough to deal with. This is real life, okay? Another thing is, you see all the weeds? See the weeds in between the rows? In the times past, we usually do the cardboard and mulch. The thing is, we were unable to get that mulch until later in the season. And what we have found is if we don't get that done early, I'm talking right when you first plant, it probably won't get done. See, as the garden season goes on, you really get consumed with other things. So the most time that you have to do the cardboard mulch is going to be early in the season. So FYI, if you want to try that method, next year, just go ahead and make plans to get your wood chips, mulch, whatever it is that you use ahead of time. Now we've got a big pile over here ready to go for next year, but like I said, we didn't get that until later in the season, and by that time we were already super busy and never found the time to get it done. So we've just been mowing And you can still do that. You don't even have to do that. You can literally just do wood chips mulch right next to your plants and just mow. Again, we've had some rain finally, and it hasn't really been dry enough to get out here with the mower yet. But that's on the list. And I'm fixing to harvest all of the rest of these tomatoes and then pull these bad guys up. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys is I did take note of which of these plants survived the longest, which ones did the best as far as tomato production. And this plant, for example, it held on the longest, was very, very, very prolific. Lots of tomatoes on this plant. I definitely am saving seeds from this one. Now, if you didn't order, if you didn't grow heirloom seeds, heirloom tomatoes, you're not going to be able to save the seeds. So if you got a hybrid, you can't save the seeds from it. I mean, you can, but you ain't going to have much luck planting tomatoes from it the next year. But anyhow, so tomato seeds are really, really easy. If you want to try saving seeds, I recommend it. Our cucumbers also took a hit as well. They look terrible. I've never had cucumbers look this bad. I've never had tomato plants or cucumbers look this bad. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, put your sprinkler on. You just water them more. Well, we're on a well, okay? And so when it gets really dry, we have to conserve water for us first. And so our needs come first, and then if we have extra, we will water the garden. So we really did the best we could. There's a little guy right there. Watering as we could. I mean, it was just tough. We had to end up getting water from the creek to water the plants. So it was just rough. It was rough for us, and it was rough for the plants. But however, as pathetic as they look, I've already canned 62 pints of pickles. And the same thing with the tomatoes. As bad as they look, God has provided, and we have had tons and tons of tomatoes that I've put up, and I still have tomatoes in my freezer that I need to take out and can. The raspberries did suffer with the drought as well. However, with this last bit of rain that we've had, which was a good amount, they are picking back up, and these are great because they will, this is that Heritage Red, and they will keep producing till fall. I think I even had some in November last year. But they've been, prior to this last couple of rains, really, really super tiny. But now they're getting so big and plump. So good. And I can't seem to get any raspberry jam made because the kids come out here faster than I can pick, and they just fresh eat them. So good. Blackberries, sorry, I had to eat those raspberries. Blackberries are okay. This time of the year though, you do have to fight the hornets for them. So prior to late summer, like if you get early summer, you don't really have to deal with bees much on your blackberries. But for some reason, late summer, you'll have yellow jackets, you'll have hornets, and they're all wanting to get some sugar before fall. But see, somebody's been eating on that one. Could have been a bird. But I've still got quite a bit. Here's a big old fat juicy one. Quite a bit of blackberries. And look at those. And I think some green ones somewhere. Oh yeah. So this is one of my thorned ones. And I still have blossoms on it. So I pretty much get blackberries all summer. Even some into the early fall. But the peak is all over. So, and I've got tons in my freezer. Tons and tons of blackberries in my freezer. I need to get something done with them because we don't have much freezer space anymore. That's one thing I wish we had. We need a meat freezer and a vegetable freezer. So, all right. And then you see the house coming along. I need to show you all sometime the inside of it. Apples. So, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Whew. Thought one of my apples was gone. Look how big this guy has gotten. If you've watched some of my earlier videos, I'm holding an apple, or it's either I'm touching the apple or I take a picture of the apple. This is that same apple, so you can see how much bigger it is. And they say when you can cup them and kind of twist, it just falls off when they're ready. So I've been testing them out to see, but so far they're not ready. But I am super excited about our apples, y'all. This is the Granny Smith. This one's got a leaf on it. These are the Granny Smiths, Golden Delicious, and my pink ladies. Okay, one last failure I want to go over was the melon that was very similar to a cantaloupe, but I can't remember the variety. It did come from Baker Creek. They did horrible. So we have not been able to harvest not a single one and eat it because they get burnt. The sun has burned them up. This one looks like there was some hope, but then look. So they're all, I mean, we've grown cantaloupes and had great success, but this variety has been a disaster. This one has some hope right here, you know, but I say that about the others too, and they ended up getting burned up. So, but maybe because this one's later, maybe it'll do okay. Of course, the kids have a few other watermelons. We've harvested a few, and not as many watermelons as they normally get, but they have been absolutely delicious and perfectly ripe. I will say that the Alibaba, anybody that's interested, which this one gets much bigger, but the Alibaba, that light green one, is really, really good to resist sun scorching. So that like what happened to those is because of the sun. These are unaffected by that. Now the Georgia rattlesnakes are really, really good and super easy, but they will get a little sunburned. In fact, this one kind of has a little bit of it'll kind of get a little yellow spot on the top from the sunburn. But I still love Georgia rattlesnakes. In fact, if I had to pick 2 watermelons to grow, I mean, look at these weeds, y'all. They just take over. It would be the Alibaba and the rattlesnakes. Those 2. I'm not even sure what that one is, but that one looks like a Twinkie. That's a long watermelon. That is a long and skinny watermelon right there. Maybe it'll get bigger. Eva's got a strawberry watermelon. I think that one may be it, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'll give y'all a review over the strawberry watermelon because that's our first time growing it. Anyways, guys, that is our garden for this year. Usually this would be the time to start seeds indoors if you want to do a fall garden. Knowing what's ahead of us with the house, I'm not even going to attempt it. We may throw out some spinach seeds or something like that where I had the onions growing, but otherwise I know when I've taken off more than I can chew, and with the house and all that, I'm just not going to try it. I'm not going to try it. So this is an example of what a rough year of gardening looks like. This is reality. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's been rough. I'm thankful though. I'm not going to complain because God has provided us with a great harvest. It's just that the plants look like dump. I don't know any other way to say it. They just do. Anyhow, how's gardening been for you guys? I'd like to hear about it. Please leave us a comment. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Because of what we've got coming up the next couple months with our house, it's going to get crazy, crazy busy. So we may not be able to put out any videos for a few months. So I'm not going anywhere, I promise. But I just want to let you guys know ahead of time, there may not be any new material coming out. However, I'll try to post regularly on Instagram and Facebook. I just won't have any extra time to do videos. All right, you guys, you take care, and we'll see you on the next video.